gotta wear it.
Yeah, you gotta wear it regardless. So if it look like a tube top, then you just gotta.
I say wear it for a month.
I can't do that, man.
Yo, this is your man, Kristen Gray. You in the field with Trackstarz.
What's going on? Back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, man. This episode is sponsored by True Strength Apparel. Make sure you go to www.truestrengthapparel.com. Check out the homies' gear. Sean's wearing the shirt. Rick Sincere's wearing the shirt. Jeremiah's wearing the shirt.
You part of the family today. You ain't in the family today.
Nah. Me and Jason, we got on the Trackstarz. I got the throwback on, the radio logo, and Jason has on the new one. So, yeah, man, I was out of pocket. Actually had that shirt in my car and cleaned out my car and just took it out, man. I had it for the a video shoot we were doing and I was gonna wear it, so my bad on that. But definitely make sure you check out the apparel, man. It's slamming, it's great, it's good material for the summer. It'll keep you cool. How's everybody else doing?
Good.
Doing great, man. I'm doing well. I just doing my best not to interrupt these Atlantis, but outside of that, man,
well, Rick, you got
well,
something special on the True Strength Apparel. What's that about?
I do, man. We're starting to. I'm starting a True Strength challenge, right? So this for all my people, man, out there who you know, you look at the camera, you see me on the camera, right? I'm rocking the 3X. You feel what I'm saying? I'm rocking the 3XT. True Strength shirt, man. Here's my challenge, right?
Okay.
I believe that true strength is somewhere within you. Okay. And so I'm going to do my best by the Super Bowl. By the Super Bowl, I want to be in a 1X shirt, man.
Hey, that's a good look.
That's my deal, right? So for the next, like from here until the Super Bowl, Rick Sincere is going to be out there, you know what I mean, working out, eating right, doing my best. You know what I mean?
You know what that means?
Does it have to fit?
Yeah, it has to fit. It has to fit. And it has to look good.
You know what that means? You can fit into my Falcons jersey when we go to Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I won't though. So I won't.
There's no giving there.
Yeah, there's no giving. So, but look, that's my challenge, right? And so, look, I'm telling the whole universe, you know what I mean? If you see me out, right? If you see me out and you see me in a place that I, shouldn't be in, I'm eating food, right? That I shouldn't be. You take a picture and you post that joint to Twitter, right? I'm gonna send you a free True Strength shirt.
Now the funny thing is this.
Now I'm going to get you Chinese tonight, but after tonight,
we're international ministry. So we got people all over the place.
We do.
He's saying this, and we're in Atlanta. Not a lot of people can see him in Atlanta eating something crazy.
Look, that's the goal, man. Look, and if you want to get in on this, if you want to be a part of this, right? Then here's what you do, okay? You can go to True Strength Apparel and order your shirt size, right? Too small. Just one size too small for you, right? No, that's the thing. I'm gonna do the same thing, right? And so look, I'm gonna get my True Strength shirt. I'm gonna get it out here. I'm gonna put it in the room, right? So when we go and get the updates on Periscope and stuff like that, when I talk to you about the season, you'll get a chance to see where I am, right? On a quarterly basis, right? Not on a
monthly to month, people.
Yeah. And you get to see where I am, right? It's gonna be disgusting at first, but one day, right? You'll see me fitting that joint, and I'm gonna look nice, man. And that's gonna be the goal. So by the Super Bowl,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You ain't on it, right?
I say you just, if you don't, you still gotta wear it. I think you should wear it.
Yeah, that's the penalty. You gotta wear it.
Yeah, you gotta wear it regardless. So if it look like a tube top, then you just gotta.
I say wear it for a month.
I can't do that, man.
I say wear it for a month.
Nah,
4 Saturdays in a row.
I can't do that to the people. I don't want to do that to the universe. But here's the thing, right? That's my goal, man.
That's spectacular.
That's shut up. But I want you to hop in on it. All my people out there, man, you know what your situation is. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you know you like a large and you want to be a medium, right? Yeah. Let's say you're extra large, you want to be a large, right? Whatever you want to do, man.
Or if let's say you're a small and you want to be a medium, or a medium to a large, that's trying to build muscle.
Yeah.
So it's either way. Just get a size. Get the size that you want to be.
Yeah. And I'm on that mission, man. So the true strength is inside of you, man. So I'm about to see if I got it in.
That's what's up. Well, for everything else Trackstarz, make sure you check out Trackstarz.com.
The universe.
www.trackstarz.com for all things Trackstarz. Follow us on Twitter at Trackstarz, Instagram at Trackstarz. Subscribe to the YouTube page and make sure you download the podcast on Mondays.
All right, so Jason broke the news. There's a brand new Trackstarz app available right now. Go to your app store, Android or Apple. Go to your app store, get the brand new app. It's amazing. It's going to give you a chance to chat with the Trackstarz. You could actually chat with us on the app. You could send us pictures of you wearing your t-shirt or stuff you see at the Lecrae concert or whatever. You could send us video pictures. You could send in your noteworthies. You could do all kinds of stuff with this new app. Send it in. Go get it. participate, do all this stuff with the app. It's amazing. I promise. Go get it.
I signed up a profile just the other day, so if you want to know a little bit more about me, I put a little mini bio on there, you know.
All right, so
just a little bit about me.
So here we go.
You got
So
that 50 Cent story in it?
Crazy.
there's a lot going on right now, and we have to talk about it. All right, so we've done topics like this in the past, and we thought that we were pretty much done with them. We thought everything was kind of getting better, and then recently there's been a rash of new issues coming up. Some new police brutality deaths, and then unfortunately in Dallas, somebody took matters into their own hands and killed 5 police officers, injured 7, including a civilian, and it's starting to get really crazy. I don't know if you guys feel the tension in the air. It's getting really crazy. So we want to talk about it here today and make sure we give the Christian perspective on how we should be viewing this. And not just one-sided. I've been watching news. I just got back into town last night, and I've been watching the news, and I'm seeing so much spin. I'm seeing so much angle into your party or this party or that. We want to give the actual response from Christians, not Republicans, not Democrats, not white, not black, but actual responses, how we should be viewing this. What y'all think?
Man, it's been a series of events that have just been heartbreaking. And for me, I think that I'm able to look past race issues, and I'm seeing civil rights violations. I'm seeing human rights violations, and that's angering me more than anything. You know, the total statistic right now, 586 deaths by police for individuals, people who are considered people of color, and that's Asian, Hispanic, and black. They were all unarmed, 586. And the problem that a lot of people have with this is that not all of them are making the news. You know, you don't hear about all of them.
Unless it's videotaped.
Unless it's videotaped. And the bad part about the videotape is it's still justifying a means to get off, even though the evidence is right there in your face. Like, it's kind of like the Rodney King situation all over again. Everything is video. You see it happening, but for some reason the justice system pushes it away.
So let me set this up for everybody, because I'm the crazy guy who likes to listen to or watch CNN and Fox just so I can know, because I got brothers and sisters on both sides, and I want to know what everybody's hearing. So
I listen to conservative.
It's totally different messages being portrayed on both networks, on all types of radio networks. And here's the issue from one side. One side is saying, man, our people are being killed at a crazy rate. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be important to you guys, and that hurts us. That we are seeing injustice, and just because it doesn't happen all at once on one day doesn't make it less important. Yeah. Because it seems like the reaction to what happened in Dallas was, oh, now this is serious. Yeah. Right. But what happened to you guys is, you know, it's okay. It's debatable, right? But this is serious. Yeah. And that's offensive in a way to one side, because it's like, yeah, but we've been telling you we've had this problem for years and years, and nobody cared. Mm-hmm. The other side is saying there's a problem with the Black Lives Matter movement, and you're inciting racism from the other side, and somebody, if they get in their mind, if they're not mentally stable, or they buy into the rhetoric a little too much, they're going to go crazy and start taking matters into their own hands and retaliating. Right. What are we supposed to do about this? Because it's not clean cut. It doesn't fit clean on party lines. It doesn't fit clean on racial lines. There's an actual problem here that we are not figuring out. Both sides. Yeah. Right? And it hurts me to watch, and I'm just call people out. It hurts me to watch a Bill O'Reilly show, who has no understanding of what the other side feels, and will say whatever he feels like saying and ignore the pain of the other side. And then it hurts me to listen to the radio while I'm driving back to Georgia and hear people say, I don't condone violence, but maybe this has to happen, maybe they not listening, maybe this will be better. Both of those are so dangerous that I was so frustrated with everybody the last couple weeks. Everybody, because everybody has their own agenda, own spin that they want to spin everything towards, and you ignore the issues with your agenda as long as it's against their agenda. And I just don't like that. There's a solution to this that nobody's willing to talk about, because it involves conceding points that you never wanted to. And that frustrates me.
Then what's the solution?
There has to be, what frustrates me is that you can't listen to what somebody else is saying and be like, man, I get what you're saying. Yes, it's not right for us to say that all police are bad because it's not true, right?
Right.
Okay.
But it's not right for you to ignore the fact that there's a problem happening and we keep yelling about it and you're not listening. Both of those are true. Nobody's wrong.
Yeah.
Both are true.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I don't have to be wrong for you to be right, and you don't have to be wrong for me to be right. There's a problem on both sides of this situation.
Right.
Smart people should be able to figure that out and stop fighting about stupid stuff. Let's just get to the issue. There's issues going on with the racial profiling with police, clearly. But that does not mean police are bad, right? As long as we can agree on that, we can start fixing some of this, right?
Yeah.
Why do we have to? Why does one have to be wrong?
I think one side is saying, well, if y'all wasn't based off, and I know what you're talking about because I watch conservative stuff and everything like that, and hear both sides of the story. So one side is saying if y'all didn't act like that, the police wouldn't have to come and do like that.
The statistics being thrown back is
Yeah.
black people commit more crimes, so there's more incidents with police, so that's why there's more of you dying than us.
Yeah.
which has flaws in this argument
Yeah.
already, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
And
so-
I hate to point this out because I talked to Rick Sincere about this, but I hate to point this out. But what angered me this week was me realizing that a situation like Castile could have been any one of us. You know what I mean? Like, there's no... There, you know what I mean? You comply.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they always scream at us.
Yeah.
Comply. Don't anger the cop. And he complied completely. And so the problem is now, do we have to start doing things to make ourselves look less as an assumption to them? You know what I mean?
It's almost like this is what it feels like, and I know this is stupid, but let me just say
Yeah.
it almost feels like it would be better if we wore polos and button-down shirts and white face and cut your hair and do everything so we don't look intimidating.
Right.
It seems silly, but that's what it feels like you have to do because I heard Ernest's frustration. It was like he did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he did.
I could like the pushback is, well, y'all are so defiant. Y'all are so, y'all pulling out your cameras and filming everything now and this and this. He didn't do anything wrong as far as we know, right?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything wrong, and that's what's not being understood on the other side is that we are scared all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police were behind me. I get so nervous, and I'm not doing nothing.
But
Yeah.
this is my situation the other night, right? So and I talked to Ryan about this. I was talking to Jason about it too. I'm headed. It's about 2:00 in the morning. I'm going to bring one of my friends back to his hotel, right? So I know that the neighborhood that we're going in, I need to at least be strapped. Like, I mean, now I understand. What my boy earlier said. I don't need my gun. I got God. Real talk. I mean, that's kind of his opinion, right? I needed my gun that night, so that's how I felt. So I bought it with me, right? But as I'm bringing him to his hotel, I bought the gun for the criminals, right? But then as I'm headed back home, and in this environment, I'm like, man, if I have this on my seat, I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
If I get stopped by the cops.
Yeah.
Right? No, that was my honest thing. So I'm like, okay, now I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? I'm confused because I know that in Georgia, I'm allowed to just put this on my feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And keep this out, right? But if I get stopped for a traffic light or I get stopped for a tail light or anything, right? If anything happens and I get stopped, I don't know how to communicate with the cop to let him know I have a gun, but don't shoot me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You really can't, because I told you the scenario could be that you see the blue flashing lights and you're trying to move the gun out
Throw
the way.
that joint out. Throw it.
Or you're trying to move the gun out the way.
Now I'm a criminal.
And he sees your hand going in the glove box, and there you go. You're done. Because he misread what you were trying to do, what gesture you were trying to make. And the scary thing for me is that in any situation, I told you guys this story, I want to cower down to make sure that I see my family at the end of the day. On my birthday, I was driving down the street, and the lane in Georgia, we have these really weird lanes where they merge off or whatever, or they kind of curve off, and you just got to follow it because they're doing so much construction around here. And so I curve off in my lane, and the guy beside me is still going straight. So it looks like I'm cutting into his lane. So he pulls up to me at the red light. He rolls down the window. He starts shooting birds and screaming at me and saying, "Don't you ever get in my way like that again, homie? You want a problem? You want a problem?" So the light turns green. I keep my head straight ahead, right? We get to the next light. He jumps out the car,
Damn.
throws his hands up.
It's a ninja
His
moment.
homeboy is in the back seat. They roll the window down, and they're like, "What's up? What's up? You gonna do something? You gonna do something?" And I'm like, I'm gonna keep my head straight, because There's a situation. No, there's a situation where we're in the middle of downtown. If I get out the car, we're getting arrested. We both are. That's just the situation. I don't need
Should have
to
shown him the Savage, right? We talk about this all the time.
No, listen. I don't need to show him any type of retaliation on my part, because it's just gonna fuel him up. Because if I had a gun on my seat and I start leaning over, he's already pulling out too. It's a bad situation. If he's getting out the car at me, he got something on.
I don't mean he's strapped. He could just be ignorant.
Yeah,
he was assuming he's ignorant.
He was waiting for that fade.
I'm assuming that he wants the situation, and if it's in the car, his homeboy's gonna pass it to him. If he's on his hip, he's gonna pull at it. But I got to work that day, and I got back home to see my family, and it wasn't an incident for me. It angered me, it frustrated me, but at the same time, I think even with the police, like, I snatched my wave cap off, and I use my wave cap just to style my hair. But when I see them pull up next to me, I'm pulling it off because I don't want to give them a reason to think that I fit some type of profile.
No, we shouldn't have to do that.
We shouldn't, but we do. We do have to do it.
I don't think we do.
I think we do because
you don't do it by yourself.
It's
that's dangerous. Like it's actually dangerous. Like and that's what's occurring is that I saw it. I was in Chicago, and I'm walking. We're going to the fireworks situation. There's a cop riding on the sidewalk. Bunch of young black people walking towards the fireworks situation. They're doing their little siren. Get out the way. Get out the way. The attitude is, why should I have to get out the way? I'm not doing anything wrong. You're on the sidewalk. That's fine and dandy, but get out the way. Do you want to die? Like, that's the kind of situation we're in. You could be proud and bulk up if you want to, but you could die. It is not fair that we should have to act this way, like massa, but you have to. That's the situation we're in. You have no choice now.
Now, this is the flip side of that, right? Because there's some people who believe we don't have to.
Yeah, but they would be
wrong. Don't have to, and the reason we don't have to is because you could cower down, and we could continue to cower down, right? Or we could fight back, right? Now, some people fight back through peaceful protest, right? And that's what some people believe, but some people don't want to fight like that.
Yeah, but here's the message: the time to fight is not with the cop.
It's not.
Don't do it at that moment.
You're not gonna be the cop.
Don't do that because it's just useless. Live to fight the day and then go protest somewhere else. Don't protest at that moment. I'm just saying, for the sake of your life, please don't do it at that moment.
Do you all wait? Do you all remember the incident not too long ago where the guy was delivering mail and they arrested him? The detectives got out the car. They almost hit him, and he mouthed back off. He mouthed off at them. Was like, "You almost hit me." Da 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 da. They got out the car, drew the guns. Was like, "Hey, put the mail sack down." And he's like, "Well, it's a federal offense for you to not let me deliver the mail." He was like, "Put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail." Just because they almost hit him with the car and he mouthed off. You can't do it. You just can't do it.
I saw this one video of a cop. There was a little black kid, right? He's like smiling at the cop for too long. Yeah. The cop don't like him smiling. So I'm serious. He follows the kid on the bus, right? And he's like, "Smile at me again. Yeah. You smile at me again and see what happens." Right? But he was just smiling at the cop. Yeah. So now there's this rhetoric that says, okay, all cops are not bad, or they're not. But there's some out there who are abusing their power, and we see that consistently. Right? Now, what do we do about that?
And that's the problem. The problem is we're trying to say, this is what we're trying to say. We're trying to say that I know you love your cops. Yeah. They protect and serve a lot of you. The problem is that our interaction with cops is not that. You may want it to be, but it isn't. Even the ones of us that aren't doing anything, it's not that. We don't have that experience. It's not true. It just isn't. Like, we could make it up, but it's not true. We have a bad experience with cops, all of us. So it's unfair for us to pretend like we don't have that experience just because you do. We are scared every single time. I'm telling you, I promise you. And it's not just white cops, it's any cop. Because when you have a gun, and it's like, I don't remember when what was that exercise where they put like two groups of people, they said, you guys are prisoners, you guys are cops.
I remember that. It was a game.
It was some experiment. It was at a college. And then over time, naturally, the cops started being abusive to the prisoners, and the prisoners felt abused. It's just a power thing right now. And the people that have the power aren't always responsible with it. And when you look, and here's the elephant in the room. There are people in our community that are not right. Right? Like, I mean, the reason this is happening because they do come across people that are hard to deal with. But that does not mean all of us are that way. The dilemma they face is that how do I know?
Yeah, how do I know? Yeah.
That's a real question. We have to be able to answer that. How do I know the difference when you look and sound just like this dude? How are they supposed to know?
But even
at the
that
same
dude-
time, that doesn't mean that I should be killed because you're afraid of some other guy.
Yeah.
There's a problem here. We have to figure this out, and it's not simple.
Yeah, bro.
And the problem is not just I might not make it home that night. The problem is also it's your word against mine. So anything that happens, if it's not recorded on camera or audio, it's your word against mine. And that's the biggest problem we have, because we get to the point where Castile was shot by an Asian man, right? I always, whenever I'm downtown, like downtown they do a lot of construction, the police officer always directing traffic, that's where I work, right? I turn off my radio, I put my phone away, I even roll down my window, because if he says something and I miss his cue, I'm going to jail. I'm getting pulled over, I'm getting a ticket, something's gonna happen. If I almost hit a pedestrian because he's telling me to stop, and when they wave the car and they can't
Brian,
say come on.
I won't be dead honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like that.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm like, I don't live in fear.
Nah,
but it's not fear.
I'm
That's what it
consistently.
sound like.
It's not fear.
better.
It's saying
I mean, that's
no.
kind of the point.
I
But
mean,
listen,
It's not right, but you
listen.
better.
I mean, I
don't-
understand.
it's
I
saying-
comply
I don't
with
feel like
police.
that. I don't feel like I better.
I'm not
no,
bearing.
listen.
But I'm not.
I ain't
gonna-
bearing neither one of y'all.
I'm
Y'all
not
better
gonna say
stop.
that.
It's saying
I'm not talking
I
about
have-
bucking up at cops.
No.
I'm talking about living in fear
Listen to this,
of
though.
police. Of
It's
people.
saying that I have 12 seconds to get through this situation so that I don't have a future situation on my hands tonight. So for 12 seconds, I'm gonna comply. I'm gonna stop my car and wait for you to wave me on.
No, that's what we're saying. We're saying on those situations, but from other stuff, it's like I have to fear. It's like you gotta fear the police, like
Right,
not
but-
fear
but-
the police, like.
But
they
here,
might
but
take
this
your-
is but this is why we're doing this. What is the correct way to make that stop? Because handling it at that moment is not working. We're seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
no-
is the correct way to handle this?
The funny part is nobody's trying to. The people who are getting shot are not those people who are trying to handle
I
it at that
understand
moment.
But for you, it would be best for you not to be one of those people that do try and back
Yeah.
up, right? What is the correct way for us to handle this situation on both sides? What's the correct
So
way to
not
handle it?
in the moment.
Not in the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go beyond
Unless
the
you want to
moment.
be
Right?
another statistic, and then
Yeah.
we got to talk about you on
Well,
another.
I think our conservative brothers and sisters really need to hear us out and really think about, like, hey, it's a reason why these kids, this generation is like the way they are. It's not just because they are the way they are. It's
Yeah.
like it's a
There's
reason.
there's some
It's
issues
it's
that
some
you're
issue
ignoring,
here
yeah.
that you're like just throwing off and dusting off. It has to be heard. Like, I think that's what it is. It's like you can't close your ears in these situations at all from both sides. Like, you can't close your ears. Like, you have to open up your ears to hear both sides and say, I see where you're going. I may not agree with that, but I understand. You see what I'm saying?
They're angry. They're frustrated. They're upset. They're like, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And as they're doing that, they're out there. They're protesting and they're leading these protests, right? A
Yeah.
lot of young people out there like really giving it their all
Yeah,
in the protest
yeah,
market,
yeah.
right? And there's some people who are doing that and they're doing whatever they can. There's some people who don't believe that we should fight like that, and there's some people who want to get really violent,
Yeah.
right? So the thing is that I honestly I'm kind of like. Honestly, I'm stuck in the middle because I don't know which way to go.
And
with
this is what
There's a
this is
peaceful
what I'm
protest,
afraid
but-
of. This is what I'm afraid of because I don't think people understand this. I'm gonna say it again. Even if we do everything right,
Yeah.
it's not working out. And people think that the only reason we're seeing it more is because there's more cameras. That's not true. That's what I heard on Fox yesterday. Oh, the only reason we're seeing more of these issues is because more people are showing cameras. That actually proves our point.
Yeah.
The only reason you're seeing this more is because there's more cameras.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. And I know people don't believe that, but I'm telling you, no records, no issues, no bad apples in this room.
Yeah.
We feel this way.
Yeah.
It's not just people who are criminals. It's not
Yeah.
just people who are bad apples.
And
all of us
And
feel
you know
this
it hurts for them. They don't get a second chance. They don't get the forgiveness that Christ forgives everyone. They don't get that because if you have a record, I just finished watching Fox News with what's her name, Lauren Tomei or whatever her name is. Whatever her name is,
Tommy Lauren?
Tommy Lauren.
Yeah.
She said, "Let's go down the line. He was a sex offender. He had criminal background history." Da, 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 da.
Oh, of course they're gonna use that.
Yeah, they're gonna use it,
They'll
but
always
that's
use
their
that.
excuse. That's the escape. If you have a record, your life no longer really matters to us anymore.
Yeah.
We can't give you sympathy. You've already run in with the cops. This is just You're bad for getting
And
caught
what about
that
the
time.
cops in Dallas? Have they ever been reprimanded? Have they ever been late?
No,
You would
because
never know.
That's what I'm
Dallas
saying.
had
Like,
good
what's their
cops.
record? Right?
Dallas has gone on record for saying their city has good cops. They don't have many issues with their police in the city. That's what Dallas said.
Well,
Have the people of that city went on record to say the same thing? Have their encounters with the police always been peaceful and nice? Because if it hasn't been, then you can't say that.
If you're like in Ferguson, right? They knew that it was more incidents being reported than anybody was doing anything about in Ferguson, right? So the whole police precinct was already known for these issues. In Dallas, if you got one or two bad seats, if it hasn't been publicly brought to the attention on front of a podium or a courthouse, it's not going to be.
Here's the end of the day issue. Just because I'm black does not mean I'm anything that you think I am.
Yeah.
We're all totally different.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
Just because you're a police officer does not mean you are what I think you are. You're all totally different. Stop assuming anything about everybody. Everybody stop.
Yeah.
It's not just because you've seen it a couple times does not mean everybody else you see is going to be like that.
Yeah.
We have to stop doing that. We have to stop saying this
So
about
then I
cops,
have to-
and
I
they
have
need
to-
to stop saying it about us.
I have to go back because I have to say, then that means that you shouldn't be scared.
So in the
And
next,
you shouldn't be scared because remember, every cop is not like
Yeah.
every other cop. So why are you scared?
The only way to fix that
Because they're scared.
The only way to fix that is for us to have more moments where we're together. This us versus them mentality, we're always going to be scared.
Yeah.
If we don't have a moment where we actually brought a cop and sat him right here, that was a building moment because I don't know if I would have saw him that I would have known his story. I would have known who his wife was. I would have known that he this and that. Him being here is a bridge moment. We need a lot more of those bridge moments so you don't look like a stranger to me every time I see you.
yeah.
That's what's necessary.
Yeah.
You need to know I'm not a bad person, and I need to know you're not a dirty cop.
And another thing too, man, is I think we need to police us as well. Like if I see you acting crazy, I see you doing something, yo man, don't buck down, dude. You got a life, bro. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like if my brother,
but that happens.
You know what I'm saying?
You saw
Bad
Thizzle
situation,
happen.
too.
Yeah, with
You saw
Thizzle,
Thizzle happen.
yeah.
When you're in the situation, it's up to us to say, hey man, don't do that. Just the
Yeah.
same thing we're saying. Don't do that because that could end bad for you.
Yeah.
Don't do that because if they say it, it's not going to get
Yeah.
heard by us.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that say things that mean well on all these networks. It's not coming in here. Most effective communication is communication that works, not just because you're right.
Yeah.
It has to translate to the person you're hearing
Yeah.
it. A lot of people talking should not be talking. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
We need to be able to tell our brothers and sisters, hey man, chill. Don't do that.
yeah.
You need to tell your brothers and sisters in the police force,
Yeah.
chill, don't do
Yeah.
that. If we both can do that and then we could get together and start having more moments of communication, it might help. It's not going to fix everything, but it's going to stop all this kind of stuff. Another thing to say before we go, this dude does not represent us.
Yeah.
I just hope everybody understands that. This dude does not represent us.
Yeah.
The dude in Dallas does not represent us.
Oh no.
I hope everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Just like these cops don't represent cops.
We got
He does not represent us.
We got to look more into his background, but I mean, he was a military sniper, ex-military. He could be suffering from several different things. I mean, just that doesn't represent us at all. So in the next talk break, what I do want us to address is the indifference that we're seeing on our social medias, because we have people say, I've been looking at my Facebook all week and people have been saying, wow, didn't know I had so many racist friends, I'm deleting them off my page.
Yeah.
I mean, Lecrae got that as well. It was like, yo bro, I can't support you anymore because you're talking about this Black Lives Matter stuff.
There's a lot of divide happening, and it's really because people won't listen. Both
Yeah.
sides
Yeah.
won't listen.
Yeah.
Won't hear hearts.
Yeah.
It's all about rhetoric, and it's the fault of the people talking because you naturally bend your argument towards things that you want to see happen anyway. That had
Yeah.
nothing to do with this
I hate
situation.
legislators.
It always leans towards Second Amendment or gun control
Yeah.
or this or that. It always leans to the thing you had already
Yeah.
in your mind in the first place,
Yeah.
instead of just dealing with this specific issue. What is going to help this issue? Not just everything you think should have happened anyway.
Yeah.
That's not going to help.
So next talk break, let's talk a little bit about the things we're seeing on social media, because I know that if I see a friend who happens to be Caucasian post something, I'm not gonna hold that against everybody on my page.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. So
I got you.
There's a lot of that going on where people are saying, okay, just because one person said that, I'm gonna get mad at everybody else that's white on my Facebook
I think
page.
what we need to do is we need to spend some time actually listening to what both arguments are. from front to back, and be honest with the solution of them, because we can defend this side or that side all we want to, but until we honestly break this down and figure out what the right thing to do is, we're not gonna win. All right, now I'm gonna calm down. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wretched, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.